Wii U has no games. This is the stupid troll sentence that everybody was using a year ago, and while it was true at the time, the Wii U had enough time to develop a solid library. And now, since 2014 is about to end, I guess it's a good time to take a look back at this little console and find the best games for it right now. I'm Nico, and this is my top 10 Wii U games up to December 31st, 2014. We're gonna start this countdown with maybe a controversial entry. Yes, I am including a remake of a GameCube game in this countdown. The reason being that it's freaking Zelda Wind Waker. Already an excellent game, the HD remake gave it a second life, allowing players to discover or rediscover the wonderful world that lies above the sea. Most of the problems the GameCube version had were fixed with this remake, with the introduction of the fast sail and the Triforce quest that was also shortened. So, in a way, this is the definitive edition of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I don't know a lot of people that have played Wonderful 101, and this is a shame. It's a very underappreciated game that deserves way more attention. In the game, you play as a team of 101 different heroes that combine into crazy things, such as swords, guns, bombs, whips, you name it. The storyline is just plain crazy and doesn't make any sense most of the time, and that's what makes this game so fun. You never know what to expect. Sure, it's chaotic at times, but you never get too confused about what's going on, so I'd recommend this game to every Wii U owner. The Donkey Kong Country series is amongst my favorite, so when Nintendo released Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii in 2010, I was really happy. And I wasn't expecting another sequel, but that's what happened with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This game is a really solid platformer. You take control of Donkey Kong with the choice of 3 different monkey partners, being Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky, each having their own abilities. Dixie is my favorite, obviously, because she's overpowered, just like in Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 for the Super Nintendo. Ah, good old time. The controls are precise and solid, the game design is flawless, and every level feels like a breath of fresh air. It would be the best 2D platformer ever if it wasn't for... Rayman Legends. Now, this game had a messed up development cycle. I made a complete video about it at the time, but here's the rundown. Ubisoft announced this to be a Wii U exclusive game releasing with the Wii U at launch. But then they delayed it until the following year. Not a big deal. But then, a week before the new release date, they decided to make it multi-platform and delay it for 9 more months, even though the game was completely finished. But let's leave this horrible story behind us, because the finished product is finished as heck. Rayman Legends is wonderful. It's literally the best 2D side-scrollers I've played, like, ever. Tight controls, wonderful level design, sexy graphics, this game has it all. You can also play it with 4 other friends, which makes it even better. And it's probably cheap right now, so you should go and pick it up. Trust me, you'll like it. This is Shovel Knight. It's a throwback to the Nintendo Entertainment System era, combining the likes of Mega Man, DuckTales, Ninja Gaiden, and Castlevania into a brand new game. The game was the first ever thing I backed on Kickstarter, and I don't regret it at all. In Shovel Knight, you take control of a knight with a shovel. In his heroic quest, you're going to have to defeat many enemies along the way, and dig many treasures to buy new items, new power-ups, and new abilities. The soundtrack is wonderful, chiptune at its best. The controls are perfect too, so if you die, it's your fault. never does the game relies on cheap gimmicks to get you killed. It's a little bit on the short side, but if you want to get every achievement, you're gonna want to play it over and over again. Alright, I'm ready for your fire and your pitchforks. Super Smash Bros. At number 5? Okay, listen up. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U is a fantastic game, and although to you it may be the best game in the world, to me, it's a great game, that's all. About 50 characters are there for you to fight with newcomers such as Pac-Man, Mega Man, Shulk, Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt, and the stage selection is pretty solid too. The only thing that makes me a little bit disappointed is the lack of a real single-player adventure mode. You know, I wasn't expecting another Subspace Emissary, but like an adventure mode like Melee, that would have been nice. At least, everything that is present in the game is polished and has depth added to it. Even the Smash Tour Mario Party-like board game is really fun to play. This is a title that you'll play for many years to come. The original Bayonetta game was my favorite game of the last generation of consoles, so you'd figure that when Platinum Games and Nintendo shared details on Bayonetta 2, I was instantly hooked. And it did not disappoint. Bayonetta 2 is everything that you love from the first Bayonetta game, but with more of it. Crazy moves, crazy combos, crazy bosses, crazy pretty much everything. In the first game, you fought against the Angels of Paradiso. Well now, not only do you fight the angels, you also fight the demons from Inferno. You know, you're in trouble when both the angels and the demons want you dead. The game is divided into verses, so you'll usually complete a little bit of platforming and then you'll reach a boss to complete a verse. Complete all of the verses to move on to a new chapter. The game also features an online mode where you can fight enemies with someone by your side. It's kinda weird to be honest, I wasn't really hooked on it. But for the rest, Bayonetta 2 is great. Oh yeah, Mario Kart 8 at number 3. I've played so much Mario Kart 8 this year and it is such a good game. I found that it doesn't rely on cheap luck-based event as much as the previous one did, except for the blue shell. In Mario Kart 8, if you suck, you're gonna be last, which is different considering in Mario Kart Wii, this wasn't the case at all. 16 brand new tracks are ready for you, as well as 16 classic ones. But wait! For the first time ever, you can purchase DLC to add 16 more tracks to your game. There's only 8 released so far, but 8 more are coming in May, so be on the lookout for that. The game also features an online mode, and it's pretty good. I barely experienced any slowdowns or lags during my many races online. There's also a tournament mode where you can easily group people to play with you. Overall, it's one of my favorite Mario Kart game ever, right behind Double Dash. Let's start with saying that I was a fan of Super Mario 3D Land for the Nintendo 3DS, so when they announced a sequel for the Wii U, I was happy. Super Mario 3D World is way better than the 3DS game, and it's also multiplayer, but you know what, I wasn't a fan of that mode because it was way too chaotic for me. The level design is pretty cool and collecting every green stars is super fun. The game is really long too. Without spoiling anything, when you think the game is over, it's not. There's plenty more to go. There are stamps that you have to collect in every levels, and then you can use them on Miiverse to create some wonderful art. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, that's art. You can play as different characters, each with their own abilities. Well, Mario's the generic one. Luigi jumps higher. Peach floats for a little bit amount of time, and Toad runs faster. Haven't I seen these abilities before? Yeah, probably not, I guess. It's definitely not the 3D Mario game that everyone wanted. But hey, it's a really solid game and I had a blast with it. Oh boy, I wish that this wasn't my #1 game, but you know, don't get me wrong, Hyrule Warriors is a really fun game, and I'm not putting it at #1 to make people mad. The thing is, the game is kinda stupid. Let me show you how to play Hyrule Warriors. Y, X. Y, X. Y, X. Yeah, you get it. It's a really simple game, but it is so addictive and it contains so many things. The story mode makes absolutely no sense, featuring Fi, Midna, Darunia, and Ruto all at once? And I guess that's one thing that makes it great. Then there's the adventure mode, a complete recreation of the 8-bit Zelda 1 map, except every square is a map in which you have to fight. I have put about 45 hours in this game total, and I feel like I barely scratched the top of it. So what did I do? Well, I bought the DLC, duh, to add even more content. The game can also be played with a friend, one looking at the TV and the other at the gamepad, and I'd recommend doing so because it makes everything even more fun. This game is fan service to every Legend of Zelda fan ever. Go play it. It is my #1 Wii U game for 2014. Thanks a lot for watching my top 10. I hope you enjoyed it. And as mentioned, this was my list, so yours is probably gonna be way different. But I wanna know, what is your top 10 Wii U games? Put it in the comments section and I'm gonna read those. And to finish on a good note, I wanted to say that 2014 was a great year for this channel, and I can already feel that 2015 is gonna be even better. And it's all thanks to you guys. Thanks for supporting me, and thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, for all that you do. It means a lot to me. Happy New Year everyone, and see you next year.